What's up, guys? Welcome back to my garage. I hope you guys are all doing well today. We're going to be continuing with the F-100 restoration build. Now, today, what we're going to do with the F-100, I want to get the interior completed, windows completed. Also, I want to look at the trim for this truck. And I want to look at some rim and tire options. So we'll go do some shopping for some rim and tire options. So I think that's the list for today on the F-100. And then after that, of course, we still have to paint this beauty. And we got to get the heartbeat built and installed. So there's still a lot of work to do on this thing. So last time when we left off, I told you guys at the very end. Now, probably a lot of you guys didn't catch this because you didn't watch to the end. And you should always watch to the end, because there's a lot of times some good stuff said at the end that you miss because you choose not to watch it. So, I had a commenter from a few videos ago say that he has a hard time getting vehicles on the two-post lift. Now, I do understand that, because when I started playing this game, it can be difficult to get cars on this two-post lift, to get them to get on the lift right, and to raise it up in the air. I still have problems with it. It's not the easiest to do, but I'm going to attempt to show you guys how it can be done, hopefully fairly easy, as long as things want to cooperate with me today. Now, I did pick this car, and it is beat up, and as you can see, the suspension on it is messed up. Because more times than not, you're probably going to put a car on that lift that has some issues with it, right? So it's not going to be a perfect car, just like this one. So I didn't want to put a new car with great suspension and no issues on there, because obviously that's going to be easier, right? Most of the time it is. When you get your issues sometimes, especially when you have bad suspension or sagging suspension, trying to get it onto a lift, this two-post lift, can be tricky. So that's why I wanted to set it up like this, so it was a little bit more challenging, and it's going to be closer to what you're probably going to do to get a vehicle up on a lift. So now, there's two ways to get it in the garage, right? For me, a lot of times, just to get back here and push it. And if you have the push mod, you can turn it on, and obviously it moves the cars a heck of a lot easier. So you can either do it like that, and sometimes that is the easiest way to do it, or you can just hop in the old girl, fire her up. Now, she's going to turn over and crank over for a while, so stay tuned. Come on, baby. There she goes. Alright, so get her started up. I know it's loud. Put her in gear. And you can do it from the inside or outside. Obviously, the outside is a lot easier, so we're just going to do it that way, because if you go from the outside, this car hardly wants to move under its own power. She's pretty bad. If you do it from the outside like this, you can get it lined up a little better. Now, I don't necessarily worry about all the time about getting my car have the even amount of space between the outside of my car and the arms of the lift that are going to go underneath the car. I don't always worry about that. Sometimes I'm a little closer to one side or the other. Get it as close as you can. Here it looks like we are fairly even. So let's pull the car on the lift. Just nice and slow. Then what you want to do sometimes, like I do, I usually stop before the door gets covered up by the post. Put her back in neutral, go back inside, set the parking brake, shut the engine down. This way, the door opens up good enough so you can just slide still right on out. And this is where I think it's just beneficial to push the car the rest of the way, because all you need to go is just a very little bit. You don't want to go too far. I think that is probably pretty good. See, as you can see, the rear of the car is a little bit over this way, so if you want to, just try to adjust her some. We didn't really move it there. And that's why sometimes the push mod comes in a little handy, but I'm trying to do it without the mod, so you can show you it can be done. So now the rear end's a little bit more over this way, so oh, now the front end's over this way. See how you doing things things move on you? And I think the car is actually moving that way. It looks like it, and it could be doing it that way because sometimes when you have either a flat tire, which we don't have, or you have bad suspension, sometimes it likes to slide on the floor a little bit. So now when you got the car basically lined up here on the lift, we could actually go forward just a little bit more, probably. There we go, like that. So we have the rear here lined up to about the rear, and we have the front lined up to about the front of the rear wheel well, the front of the rear wheel well, if you want to call it. But get it lined up so that the center of the car, the middle part of the car here, where your door is, and the side of the car, is just lined up with these posts here. Now, they don't want to move for me. I have this issue sometimes too, where these will move out, like you see here. But these arms, okay, there we go. Now they want to move. Sometimes they don't want to move, sometimes they do. Okay, so you just move this arm in and put it right underneath the car. It just slid right underneath of there. Do the same thing with this arm. Just right underneath the car. Okay. Now on the B200, you might have to extend these a little bit, but on most of the cars, you don't even have to. But if you don't get it perfectly centered, sometimes I've put cars way over to one side. And then you have a bunch of room on one of the sides, and then you have to extend it, and it's not even on the lift. You could run into problems doing that, but it does work if you do. If you're just, I guess, careful about it, if you want to say. Okay, and then the same thing with this side. Just right underneath there somewhere. You see, just right underneath. And then the same thing with this guy. Go back in there, bud. There we go. And since we have lowered suspension here, it's going to raise it a little bit here. As you see, just go, we need to go a little bit more. See, a little bit of the issue with the suspension, when I put that underneath of here, if you have a lower suspension, that's why I wanted to do it a little bit. I wanted to do it with a car that had some issues. As you can see, I wanted to push the car over that way a little bit when I put this lift arm underneath. And sometimes if you want to, you can extend out this lift arm when it's underneath. So it's underneath there a little more. So we'll hop up, and then we'll see. We'll raise this up a little bit here with the green button up. And just raise it a little bit and see how it's sitting on the lift. Just slightly off the ground. It's mostly off the ground now. The weight's off the tires. Off the axle. And there you go. See? You're pretty much level now. You can see now you're pretty much level. We're just slightly off the ground. And this did, I think it moved, that arm moved back a little bit. I think because this thing wants to slide a little bit because of the suspension when I put this arm under. But nevertheless, it's pretty level on there. And you just raise it all the way up, or whatever height you want it to be at to work under. And that is all the way up in the air. Actually, can we open the lid? Yeah, we can. There we go. And that is the hood. It's clipping through the ceiling a little bit, but it is what it is. So that is the car all the way up in the air. It's really that simple. It's no different for really any other vehicle, except really the B200. The B200 sits on this lift weird anyways. It doesn't matter if you try to get it on here right or not. Sometimes wants to work better than other times. So, yeah, this lift and the B200, not a great combination. But the jack stands aren't a great combination for the B200 either, because you can't get underneath of it hardly ever because of the collisions, which need to be fixed, but still haven't been fixed. But yeah, you just basically put that right underneath of there. This one's a little bit more extended, and that's fine. Obviously, you can tell the car's pretty even. These ones are in a little further in, and that's fine. They're all being supported, and they're supporting the car well. You know, you don't want to get the car in the air and it gets to teeter-tottering and rocking, because the car could fall off the lift, causing more damage. And you don't want that. I've had that happen before. So yeah, you can get under here, do all your work, whatever. Or if you need it just a little bit lower, you're like, oh man, that's a little tall to get to some of the bolts. Just lower it back down and go back underneath and get to work. I mean, this lift is very nice to put cars under. I will say that. If you can get it lined up on the lift well and get it up in the air without any issues, and it's even on the lift, yeah. This lift is really nice to work with, to work on cars on. It's really nice. You can walk the whole length all the way to the rear, you know, and the lift's not even up all the way. You can tell this car's got a lot of issues underneath of it. Yep. So, raise it back up if you want to. Put the hood down or not. There we go. Leave it up in the air. All right, let's get to work on the F-100. Get these doors popped open, because we're going to need them open, because we're going to be doing some interior, like I said. Actually, you know what? Let's get to sleep real quick before we get to working. All right, now let's get some interior going. I already have interior selected. So we're going to need some pedals. We do have a manual transmission, so we're going to need the clutch pedal. We don't want automatic. We're going to need a cluster. We're going to need a gear sticker. Dashboard. Door panels. We're just going to buy everything except the mirror and the steering wheel. Sun visor and a bench seat. Now let's throw in this headliner first. Well, that headliner went all the way. Well, no, I guess it's not all the way over there. Does that just go in? Probably need some sun visor. Okay, went all the way over there. Okay. I'm going to say the headliner maybe gets held in by the sun visors, but I could be wrong. Let's go grab our wrench and screwdriver, because I'm betting we need our screwdriver for these guys here. Let me hop in the truck here. Okay. Pretty nice looking headliner, I will say. But it still comes out. Is there some kind of... Shouldn't come out. Headliner should not come out. Do we have anything that... tightens it down? Well, as you can see, I can still pull it out, so those sun visors just bolt right up there, so I don't know. Oh, you know what? Might put it up there. Possibly the mirror. Hey, look at me. Doesn't matter if it's a modded vehicle or not, or a base game vehicle, I still have problems with the mirror. Let's hop in here. Hopefully that tacked it down. Yep, seems like it. Let's get this guy in there. All right. I am actually gonna change the legs and the handle on here. I don't want them being like that almost lime green color to me. So I'm gonna try to figure out how do we do. I think it's a seat drive, isn't it? I don't know if it's a seat drive or not. Let's see. No, it's not that. I think that might be it. Could be wrong. There we go. I think that's going to look a little bit better if we can get it in there. There we go. Yeah, that looks better. Not that I don't like lime green. I do. It just I don't think it looked great there on a bench seat. I'll try from the other side. I get that one over there in the rear. Yeah, I did. All right. Just throw this guy in. That looks a little weird. Why would the door card be different than all the other interior colors? That does not make any bit of sense to me. What's the color of the dashboard? Black? Huh. Maybe we want to change up the seat and the gear shift color to match the rest of this. Where's the screws for this dang thing? All right. And you got a wood grain or cluster, just to say. Wood grain gauge cluster. Yeah, I don't care for that. Okay, those are fine. We're gonna do some color rearranging on the interior here. That interior just well, I don't know. I guess it doesn't look bad because then if we do, we're gonna have to change the headliner, sun visors, seat. I think we're gonna leave it like that. I mean, it's not horrible, but these door cards are even a different shade than what even the dash is. I think. I don't know. Maybe it's the same. These door cards look about awful. Yeah, yeah, that definitely, yeah. All right. Well, there's an issue with that one then. Let's. Where's the? There we go. Yeah, that just. It's going to be hard as heck to match that color of that, too. Man, that sucks. It's going to be hard to match that. It's hard. Yeah, it's the same freaking thing. I thought maybe it just spawned a wrong color, but no, it didn't. I wonder if the dash is supposed to be that color, but no, maybe the dash is supposed to be that blackish gray color, which is a flat black gray, which still does not look good. All right. man, colors to this interior is... It's not good. I'll say this interior is going to be my least favorite part of the truck. It just, to me, that just looks awful. I think this dash, if it's going to be, it needs to be like a black color, kind of like the floor. And not this like blackish gray. And then that door card definitely needs to be this color and not that messed up color. Yeah, to me that's kind of a little unacceptable, you know. To have little pieces like that just messed up on a mod when someone's paying for it. I can see if the mods were in testing, right, and they were being worked on, but I don't believe this mod is really being in development anymore. I think it's completed, really. I could be wrong, but I mean, what else are you going to really add to this thing? Trying to get that dang thing, and these bolts need to be corrected too, or these screws need to be corrected. This is ridiculous. Okay, I was just on the wrong one, but still, they need to be corrected. Those aren't good. All right, let's see about this. You gotta be kidding me. Color that bull crap there. Restore. Wonder if it restored it. Probably not. We gotta find out. Okay, there's the dash. So it's number 2. Let's do this. There we go. I mean, that's a dark black. Do I want that? Throw that over there. This is where I start getting ticked off. Well, don't think that's going to work. Well, I guess it does. Not really. That chrome on the dash looks awful. In the V200, it actually looks good. But it doesn't chrome all that like it does there. Yeah. And now that I can't restore it, sometimes Chrome will let you restore it, sometimes not. I'm just going to buy 1,000 freaking things trying to get this color corrected on here, because the color on here is just awful. We could go with something a little darker. I think this is it. Yeah, slightly darker than that real black. See, that's the darkest. This black here is the darkest in the game. This one's just a little bit lighter, and it doesn't have as much gray in it. So yeah, I think that looks better. Not perfect, but better. That'll work. That'll work. All right. So let's grab the cluster. I was going to say another one, but we did buy one, so there we go. Yeah, I think that looks much better, much better. But the problem is now trying to get this to be a brown, and that's probably not going to happen if I'm being real about the situation. Yeah, I'm not even going to try. I don't even know what to do about that. It's just... Oh, that's completely frustrating because trying to get a brown color in this game for me is near impossible. I think this interior is just going to be a work in progress. I mean, it's just there's things about it I don't like. I mean, the black and see these door cards need to be the same as the seat and the headliner. I'm not liking it. I mean, it's not horrible, but I don't care for it. Uh, it would probably look even much better with just an all white interior. I think an all white interior on this truck would be nice, but we're gonna move on. At least, I think. Let me check. I think we have the interior completed. Yeah. Okay. So for right now, it's gonna be what it is. I might on my own time pull everything back out. You know, seat, gear shifter, headliner, sun visors, and door cards, and do them white. That'd have been nice if the whole dash didn't chrome too, and like part of it chromed, like down here chromed, and then the black was just top, maybe or something, so the whole thing wasn't chrome because it looks awful being the whole thing chrome. If it did look chrome, I think the part of that chrome, like the face of the dash here, would look really good with some white interior. I think that would look pretty good, but sadly, it doesn't seem like we can do that. So let's move on for now. At least the interior is completed. I'm just going to get it some different colors at some point. You know, it's not that big of a deal. It really isn't. I mean, at least now the interior is completed. Okay, let's now move to windows. That's the next thing on the list. Oh, we're going to need wiper blades and everything. You know what? We might as well grab this garbage now. Windshield, rear window. There we go. Put the hood down. Grab our wrench. Let's pop this in if we can. We're going to have to stick our head through. Oh, this is going to be fun, huh? We get it? Nope, we can't do it from there either. Well, this might not be as bad as I thought. Let's go to the other side. Should be one on the other side, possibly. Doesn't mean there is, but could be. Yeah. All right, cool. Cool. That wasn't that bad. All right. We're going to still need that door open because we got to put some window lifts in. Let's do this. Open back up, punk. All right. And then we will grab this. This might have been a situation that I might have benefited from putting the windows on the window lifters before putting the window lifters in the door. Oh, no, they stick right out. Okay. All right. Well, I like that. I wish it did that on all the base game cars. Now that is really nice. I like that. Bolts were easy to get to. They stuck out. Tightened them up. They went in, disappeared. That's I like that a lot. Makes that much easier because we all know that installing these door windows aren't the easiest at times. Okay, so now let's look at some accessories for this bad boy. Let's grab some mirrors, an antenna, cabin lights. Oh, those are small mirrors? What's the difference? Take a look. Oh, yeah, we're going small mirrors. Yeah, the F-100 with big mirrors, I just don't know about that. You know. Definitely the small mirrors are the way to go. Alright, let's throw this on top. Can we get it up there? Yes, we sure can. Making it look good. Throw these over here. This is all the wasted money pile. Alright. Nice little touches, man. Just nice little touches with, like, you know, an antenna, stuff like that. Just, yes. Make it more real life-like, you know? I like that. I don't think this thing has any badging for it, but it is what it is. Could be wrong, though. Trailer box paintable roof. What is that? Wall left? Does this thing have a trailer with it? I don't know. I'm going to have to check some things out. We are still going to build a camper shell for this thing. Actually, let's try to grab some stuff. I didn't see any trim in here, did I? I got sidetracked again, guys. I was looking for trim. Let's do this first. Whoa. Things went a flying. Let's throw this over here. I want to have a camper shell on this thing. Not that I may use it all the time. The windows are blocked out, but it's alright. You know. Been nice if they were actually transparent. You could see through them, you know, like actual windows, but it is what it is, you know. It's not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Okay, yeah, okay. This thing, okay. Help me. Help me. Thing's attached to me. I grew an attachment. I grew a dang attachment. Help me. Help me. I can take stuff out with it. I grew an attachment. Well, that's definitely a bug. Can I loosen this? Will it come off? There we go. You know what? We're just going to leave that for now and see. It might be a bug because I'm trying to do it off the vehicle. So we're going to put this camper shell on it. See if we can get this bolted down. I know I'm all over the place, guys, and I apologize. But in a way, I don't apologize. Because it's kind of who I am in a way. I'm all over the place. Okay, do we have some boats, or does it just hang on there? I don't see any boats. I don't see any boats. Let's see, can I take that off? No. Where's my my deal? My pry tool, there we go. Alright, okay. So it comes off with the pry tool. Nice looking cap for it. I do like that look. Let's see now if it wants to give me another attachment. If it does, well, maybe we won't be using a cap. All right, there we go. Lines up pretty good and everything. I like that. Man, not a bad job on that. Oh, that was the rear. Okay. Yeah, I wish those were actual windows back there, but it doesn't look the greatest, but it doesn't look bad either. I do like that. I do like that cap though. That looks good. Looks good. I mean, I could always take those out and... Oh, well. Yeah, that might be a little bit of an issue. Trying to get those out now, that might not happen. Oh well. Oh well, they're in there now. I was going to take them out to see what it looked like without them. Because you might not even really be able to tell that there's a window in there or not, possibly. But we're not going to be able to get those out probably, so... There we go. Access to the back. All right. Now, I still didn't see any trim for this dang thing. Let's look for some trim. Unless I was being trolled. Which, I wouldn't know why I would be, but you never know. I can always try to type in trim. I don't see any trim, which usually if it's trim, it would be in the accessories. Yeah, yeah, you see it. Typed in trim. There's no trim. I've looked in all the categories. Nothing there. Obviously nothing in the color. Brakes, you see it. Suspension. Doesn't make sense to be in the brakes or the suspension or engine. Handles, mirror, front bumper. Bed frame, tailgate holder. Accessories. Oh, there's some mud flaps. Yeah, I don't know if we want mud flaps on here. Let's buy them though and see what they look like. I'll have to see what this trailer box is. It's a roof, front wall. Is the roof the floor? Who knows? I'll look into that too and see what that is. You know, the trailer stuff. Yeah, I don't see any trim. I'm typing trim here, and there's no trim. Now, let me go to all cars. All engines. Well, of course, it's not going to tell me. Well, all the modded stuff should be towards the bottom. After all the base game stuff. So, here's the badging for the extra B200 parts. That's tailgate trim for the, believe El Camino. That's for the Rat for the BMW. Yeah, that's for the Lad wagon. This stuff is for the B200, I believe. Yeah. That stuff doesn't go on there, I don't think. Yeah. I don't know. I'm starting to think we got trolled here. starting to think we got trolled. I don't know. I don't want to say that I did. But it's looking that way because I don't see any trim at all. Unless he really doesn't know about this mod and he just said, oh, it needs trim because a lot of these vehicles have trim, and I don't know. I don't know what what the deal is. Wagon. It's certainly not a wagon. This is stuff for the looks like the wolf. This looks like stuff for the El Camino. Or the Jesse. I don't think any of this stuff is it either. Chad. Yeah, Bart. No. Yeah, I don't see any trim. Left mud flap. So it would be over here. Maybe you need the flatbed in here and the flatbed frame for those to go on there. It's a possibility, I would say. Okay, well. That goes in there, huh? Oh, there is a battery deck there. Okay. We'll just throw that on the floor because we don't have any wires right now to throw in there. All right, well, I guess we're moving on from the trim. I guess this truck doesn't have any trim. You guys seen it. I've looked. I looked twice, so if it comes up as a different name or there's somewhere else to find it, let me know because I surely don't know. You seen it? We can't find it. Well, one thing that I do want to do while I'm thinking about it. Fuel tank. Let's get a wrench. Where did the fuel tank go? Up in there. Where the heck did the dang thing go? It's behind the seat. Is it? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, there we go. Makes sense because I think that's where they are in real life, aren't they? Is behind the seat? Could be mistaken, but I think they are. Okay, there we go. We got that done. Let's clean up our dang mess. We got a little bit of a mess out here. Let's take it over here and throw it away. Car's still doing good up there. Just throw this over there right now. All right. One thing real quick I think we could do is let's look at some wheel and tire options. Now, I don't know if you guys are going to like this specifically for this truck because it's not going to be your standard wheel that you would usually see or something close to what you would see for this truck. But just stick with me here. not sure what I want to use. Let's grab some of these and see what they look like. Come back here. Let me get a hold of you. These are going to be wider. Do we want a wider tire on here? Let's stick out a little bit. Kind of like those. What about these? How would these look? All right. These. I think that's why we might have to put a lower suspension on this thing. There's just going to be so much space in the wheel well. Okay. What do we think of these? We haven't seen these yet. Kind of like those. These are somewhat similar to each other. I think I like these better than those. But I do like these too because I have a little bit more of a design to them. I like those too, man. I think it's going to be these. What are those, G27s? G27. Let me get those before they go. They go rolling away. G27. Make sure they are all the same. G27. Grab these. Throw these over here. Let's go grab some tires because we're going to need a certain tire for these. I believe they're in the BMW wheel pack. The tire is there's only one type of tire. Yeah, these right here. So let's see how these look with the rim and tire together. If I don't like it, I don't like it, and we can go for something else. There's always more options, right? Now, I know some of you guys aren't going to love this, but, you know, to each their own. All right. They do stick out a little bit, which I don't know if I care for that or not. Let's Get our wrench here and see if we can tighten these down. Okay. Now, yeah, I think we're gonna have to lower the suspension on this thing, so let's just do that. Oh, no, I bought 4 and I didn't need to. I gotta put leaf springs in the rear. There we go. There's the bolt. Take this hunk of junk out of there. Well, it's not really a hunk of junk, is it? It's new. There we go. Let's pack these in here. Chill out. No, I could color these leaf springs. Where's the dang... Ah, you're gonna give me issues, aren't you? Oh, there we go. It's on the inside there. Oh, man, I hope that corrects itself, man. Oh, that's gonna look awful, possibly, if that doesn't correct itself. This whole rear is effed up. Look at that. I hope that corrects itself once we get it on the ground. I don't know. If it looks bad when we get it on the ground, yeah, we're gonna have to change the rims and tires on it and then put a regular lift on this thing. But we'll see here in just a second. Let me grab the air compressor. Get these all done up if I can find the valve stem. Where is the valve stem? It's probably in the tire. It's got to be on the top then, huh? Where the heck is this valve stem? Come on, you gotta be kidding me. Was that it? There we go. Wait a minute, I didn't change that, did I? I must have, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I did. Yep, I did. I did. Man, those valve stems blended right in with the rim. They're so hard to see. All right. Let's get on this side here. That back axle is just all messed up. I'm hoping when I put it on the ground, and off these jack stands it corrects itself. But like I said, we'll see. I don't know. These rims aren't the best looking, I don't think. But rims and tires are always something you can change at any point. It's not, you know, all that big of a deal. Yeah. No, it didn't correct itself, and it's sitting on the dang. You see how it just hit the ground? Like, it's sitting on that. Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to have to change the rims and tires and put the regular suspension back on it. You're still going to see that messed up in the rear, though, man. That just looks awful. You're still going to see that axle hanging lower. That just looks awful. I mean, this mod in the rear is... I'm just going to say it is horribly done. The rear suspension on this truck is just awful. It's horribly done. It looks bad, everything. I'm just going to say it. And I think I can say that. You know why? Because I paid to have access to this mod. So, yeah, I can say that. I can say it looks horrible. I've never seen another modded car that has suspension that looks this bad on it. The front seems fine. The front's fine. It's the rear that's all effed up. All right, well, I don't want to end it on a bad note, but, you know, I guess it's not a horrible note. I just have to go on there. It's not exactly what I was hoping it would be. That's fine. I was going to look for, you know, what I was trying to do was kind of a lowrider F-100 look, right? I wanted to be a little bit of a lowrider. It is that. It is. It scrapes the ground, doesn't it? But it's not supposed to be. The rear is not supposed to look that way. The rear suspension is not supposed to look that way. And it hangs down lower than what it should, or it's off, and it looks awful. It throws the whole look off. So either we're going to have to figure out, or really I am going to have to figure out either, do I want just normal ride height suspension, or do I want to raise this suspension up? So we'll see. I'll play around with it a bit and see. Maybe if I raise it, maybe the suspension will look normal then if I raise it in the rear. I don't know. But yeah, as far as it is now, the rear suspension on this F-100 is awful. It looks horrible. It looks absolutely horrible. But I'm going to end it here, guys. I'm going to get this settled out myself. I'm going to try to see what that trailer stuff is about in there. I'm not sure. So yeah, that's what it is. Next time, we still have to paint this thing. Oh, and I still have to do stuff with the interior, but that can come at any point, at any time. So not necessarily worried about all that. Interior is kind of like the rims and wheels, right? I mean, that stuff can wait. This has to be settled fairly quickly because I want to be able to drive it. And I'm not going to be able to drive it with this slower suspension or the rear suspension looking like that. It just hangs a little lower, I think, than what it's supposed to. I mean, this hub is up, but then the axle hangs down. I don't know. And the sleeve spring hangs lower, I think, than what it should. I'm not sure. But there's stuff going on with this suspension, obviously, back here. Yeah, it looks awful, so that's the look I was trying to go for, was just that lowrider look. I thought it was going to look pretty good with this truck, but it's just not going to work. But on better news, see, our car's still level. It's still up in the air. You can go under here and work on it. Have a field day. So, yeah. You know, it. Hopefully putting, you know, this out there with the car on the lift hopefully this helps one of you guys out there. Even if it helps one of you guys, it was worth it, you know? So, all right, there you go. All right, well, thank you guys very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Thank you to all my recent subscribers. So if you did like this video, please leave it a like. You like my content, like my channel, consider subscribing to me. All your support is greatly appreciated. So until next time, guys, we'll see you later.